Good afternoon. We are moving and I'm going to talk about it. I want to show you where I think we're going, which you already know. So I'm going to take my time with today's video rather than rushing it out to you because I already have the plan set in motion. I'm also going to help you time Bitcoin, talk about every swing that we have. We're just going to run it all down. A lot of this stuff is going to be a reiteration of things that I've already talked to you about, but I think that because we have this churn of people, and influx is a better word for it because people never leave. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I think it's good to just kind of reiterate the basics, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is we hit a target after a chop, and now we want a second target. My best guess is that we pull back from here and we get a chance to higher low it. And then we want to push it higher yet to 76 to about 76.50. These are already laid out in the Discord channel, so I do not want to rush through the video. However, I do kind of wander some, so make sure you 2x speed me if it gets a little bit long in the tooth. Okay. The number one thing I can recommend to you guys is if you know that you need a stop loss at a swing low and you have a target all the way up here and you're looking at a breakout and you're sitting here and you're here and you're here, recognize that this trade is still a 3-to-1 trade, right? But what to do? Because this stop loss is way too deep for an ES trade if you are trading ES. Trade smaller. So my average lot size is 7 to 10 ES contracts, and I've been doing this for years. I never scale up outside of that. My goal in ES is just to capture consistent moves and move on. I'm not trying to make a fortune trading ES. I'm trying to pay bills off of ES. And then I want my high time frame swings to be the core of all the money that I make. That way, if things take off without me, like they did yesterday, I don't have to FOMO in because I know I have swings that are a part of this generalized move. I am much more interested in the risk to reward of each individual trade. So the best thing that you can do is say that you have a 3-to-1 trade and we're trading any other day and you want to take profit here and your stop loss is right here and you have like this tight stop and you have like a 12-point upside. Treat this trade the exact same way, but size down so small that it's similar to that move. So that means if this is a 5 times bigger move, trade 1/5 the size. All you need to do is, if you want to follow how I lay things out, is you need to be able to trim. You need about 5 units. You need to be able to protect your stop loss with the first unit. You need to be able to sell an expansion candle with the second unit, and then you need to go into a runner. That's what I built for you guys. If you guys can't get big enough to have a runner, then you don't runner. You sell the first expansion candle. And if for whatever reason you can't even get up to 3 units, you downgrade from ES to MES, because the idea is you need to have a couple of units to protect your stop loss. That's how you trade greed free. Okay. Yesterday we added Bitcoin. Did we nail the low? I got pretty damn close, guys. 78.8 was low. I added at 79.1, so we got it right here. What did I see in how to manage this trade? What you need to do to manage this Bitcoin trade is, as soon as we take out this high, mark this on your chart at 82, you are going to bring up the stop loss below this low to 78. Currently, the stop loss has to stay at the current swing low, which is where we at right here. That has to live below 75 right now. But as soon as we make a new high, you can drag it up to right here safely and feel okay about that. Okay, so this current trade, we are long from 65. We took profits at 74. There was 2 adds, one at 75. Take profits as in we protected our stop loss. We re-added here, and then I just re-added once more. The target for this trade is 115 to 125. I expect there to be overthrow. I am going to short Bitcoin on the overthrow around 130, but I will be out of the long trade by then. I want to explain what's going on. I have a trade on right now on Bitcoin, but I also have some off-exchange Bitcoin that I've had for a long time that's just sitting in a wallet that I cannot trade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hedge that with a short ETF after we hit our targets, and then I am going to buy more Bitcoin with the powder that I get from that hedge, assuming I'm right. But I think the drawdown is going to be violent and deep, but I need to hedge out something because I cannot trade it. So there's two ways to look at this, guys. If you're a high time frame Bitcoin holder, you could just raise money to buy the dip and ignore the short. If you want to hedge it, I will tell you when to do that too. Okay, but have a reason for doing what you're doing. For my reason is I cannot trade some of my Bitcoin, so I am just going to hedge it out, raise powder, and then I'm going to buy more and put it into cold storage. Okay, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but I do keep some stuff offline, off exchange rather, is a better way of putting it. Riot, we dipped. Do we care? No. This was our original sell, right? We're setting a higher low off of our sell. So target, higher low off target. Next target. Boom. Okay. Okay. Remember, we raised money off of this target to buy the Mara dip at 12. When we get to this next target, we are going to hedge out high time frame shares or close any short-term time frame trades if you still have it, and we are going to catch the Mara trend. Meaning Mara is likely to hit a target with it, have a little pullback. We will buy that very next pullback with the Riot powder that we raised from either selling covered calls or shares if you are in a trade. Not going to go over alts. AMD, I called this out yesterday. I believe that we have a long way to go in the market, and AMD is going to be a nice recipient of this, but I do believe this is a big move, right? But I think that the Mara move is going to be bigger. So that's why I said I'm not going to take this trade, but I'm covering it because I know some guys will. That being said, guys, remember, I'm talking to two sets of people. We are out of the AMD trade right here. I have a high time frame portfolio that has had AMD for a decade, right? I will hedge high time frame shares up here. So I am in a different type of trade. But if you want, I will walk you through the short up here too if you want it as a trade. It just depends on your perspective in the audience that I'm talking to. Coin's fine. Looks like it just is just chopping around till it hits its next leg up. We anticipate selling coin somewhere in the 300 neighborhood. Oxy is looking good. We bottom tick this. Not only are we going to take it up, but we are going to short it once it gets there. Meta is looking good. It looks like we did not bottom tick, but we came close. The Meta AB was right here at 600. It ended up coming down to 592. Pretty good stuff. We are just going to take Meta higher to about 800 before we sell. We're just tracking new higher. It's just going through a little consolidation, but ultimately we will resolve to the upside. Netflix, we are squeezing up. We are going to set up a Netflix short when we get there. Why not long Netflix if I think it's going up high? That's just not the greatest upside, right? Because it's probably going to go like this the whole way up. It's just not a great long. Palantir, we don't care. MSTR is tracking Bitcoin. Nvidia, here's one I like. I've been long Nvidia for years and years, and I'm going to continue staying long Nvidia. There is nothing to cover here, guys. I have rode this the entire way down in this Substack since the recovery at the end of 2022. We rose it all up. This whole range that felt so important when we were in it, I just held long through the whole thing. I'm not touching my Nvidia stack. I believe that it's going to about 1,000, and I will hedge it out at 1,000, but this is one I'm not going to touch. Real quick on the confidence, the reason I timed the Bitcoin ad when I did is, what did we do? What did we talk about on the ratio? We set a higher high. Good. All we needed was our higher low. Boom, higher low right here. Launch it from here. What does this ratio tell us? This tells us BTC to outperform ES. So even though ES can push really hard, for every unit ES goes up, Bitcoin should go up too. Now, unit, I don't mean $1 to $1. I mean percentage to percentage, right? That's how we compare assets. We compare them to each other and how much they cost to buy, not how much they cost in terms of USD, which is not that interesting. What this says is we should favor crypto, and we are positioned correctly. Despite having a red day, it matters not on the miners, okay? What else do we have going on, guys? That's about it. I will start introducing some more high time frame plays as we close out these plays that we're currently in. But a couple things. I don't think that we're going to hit the top of the market until we hit the targets. I'm very confident in these targets on across all these tickers, so I am not looking to short. The other thing is I'm looking for Bitcoin to hit 125 to 135. I'm very confident in my targets. So while I don't know as we push ES into all-time high, ultimately where we end up, I do know that once those targets hit elsewhere, I'm going to be looking defensive on ES. And if we come to some important fib level or some important resistance, I will know that that resistance is likely the one to hedge out, and I will cover it as such. But I'm confident in my targets on the upside for all of these tickers and for Bitcoin. So I am going to let ES just go into price discovery on the upside and see how hard it can push on the way higher, which I don't know the answer to yet, but I am pretty good at speculating as we continue up. So I will continue to do that for you, and I hope that helps clarify the kind of mission we're on. Remember, this isn't new, guys. We've been running this long stack since 2022 correction, when everybody was calling the top then. They called the top the entire way up. Top pickers are the reason we can make money. We're not making money off, funds. They're not long selling premium. We're making money off other retail who constantly short. So we will take that and we will pocket it and we will keep pushing it. Eventually we will be wrong. But you know how we know that we're wrong? We break a swing low and then we fail to reclaim it. I don't mean a swing low on this time frame. I mean a real swing low on a high time frame, right? The same sort of swing low that we never broke on Bitcoin. When you go to the monthly candles and you realize that, oh, this is a swing low right here, and we held it. Maybe this isn't a bear market on an asset class that ran 1,000,000% from the lows. Maybe a 50% retracement after a 450% run over 2 years is not really a bear market. And all of the people who are calling it a bear market simply are misjudging it based on a percentage drawdown, applying generalized SPY rules to crypto, which seems to march to its own drum, as I already showed you in the ratio and how much it can outperform. So that's where we're at. We will know when to get defensive based on targets. We are not going to call the upside. I will continue guiding towards resistances and what we need to break, but we have no reason to be afraid yet. If you get a deep red day, a retracement, this is not a bearish signal. This is an opportunity to buy, and we will talk about that. But for now, we're just going to keep pushing the trade higher until it doesn't look like we can anymore.